Long before outsiders mapped the land, before modern laws replaced ancestral oaths, there existed a village called Umuokiri, a place where the living and the dead shared an unspoken agreement. In Umuokiri, tradition was life. The ancestors were not memories. They were watchers, they were listeners. They were judges. Every major decision, marriage, land sharing, kingship, was presented to the ancestors through rituals. And when the ancestors wished to speak back, they did so through masquerades. Masquerades were not costumes worn for joy. They were sacred vessels. Once a man entered the costume, he ceased to be human. His name, his family, his voice were taken from him. That was why masquerades were feared. There were rules that could never be broken. Masquerades must never appear without ritual drums. Masquerades must never walk after midnight. Masquerades must never enter homes. Masquerades must never call the names of the living breaking. Even one rule meant disaster. For generations, these laws were respected, until greed arrived quietly. Umuokiri became prosperous. Palm oil trade flourished. Land increased in value. Power became attractive. Elders who once judged fairly began to accept gifts. Truth bent slowly. Sacred land was sold secretly. Shrines were neglected. Blood oaths were broken without cleansing. And then a man disappeared. His name was Ezeani. Ezeani was not wealthy. He was not powerful. But he owned ancestral land that could not be sold. That land sat between two expanding compounds, one of them belonging to Chief Amadi, the richest man in Umuokiri. Witnesses heard shouting one evening. A machete was seen, then silence. By morning, Ezeani was gone. Chief Amadi claimed ignorance. Elders accepted his explanation along with goats, money, and wine. The case was closed without ritual investigation. But the land remembered. Weeks passed and signs began appearing. A masquerade shrine cracked without cause. A sacred tree bled sap like blood. Children woke up screaming, saying dead men were calling their names. The elders ignored the signs, until the night the ancestors came themselves. That night was unnaturally quiet. No crickets, no owls, no wind. At exactly the moment the moon disappeared behind clouds, the earth shook lightly, as if footsteps pressed down from another world. The first masquerade emerged from the forest without announcement. Then another, 9 masquerades in total. They walked slowly, deliberately, their raffia costumes dragging like funeral cloth. Their masks were old, older than the village itself, carved with expressions of anger, sorrow, and judgment. They did not dance, they did not chant. They walked straight into the village. Doors slammed shut. Mothers covered their children's mouths. Grown men trembled like infants. The masquerade stopped at specific homes. They called names. Chukudi, you lied before the shrine. The man collapsed, foaming at the mouth. Mazikalu, you sold ancestral land. His legs twisted backward, leaving him crippled. Elder Nana, you buried truth with money. He lost his sight instantly. Each judgment was precise. Each punishment matched the crime. Then the masquerades reached the village square. The largest one stepped forward, its voice echoing like many voices speaking together. The living betrayed the dead. Blood soaked the land. Justice was mocked. Tonight the ancestors walk among liars. They turned toward Chief Amadi's compound. Chief Amadi tried to bribe them. He threw money on the ground. The masquerades did not look at it. He tried to confess. His voice failed him. He tried to run. His legs gave way. The masquerades surrounded him and began to circle slowly. They did not touch him. They only showed him visions. By dawn, Chief Amadi was dead. Those who saw his face said his eyes looked like someone who had seen every sin he ever committed all at once. When morning came, the village gathered in silence. No one denied anything. The elders confessed. Hidden graves were revealed. Ezeani's bones were found buried near the forest, without rites, without honor. For 14 days, Umuokiri performed cleansing rituals. Sacrifices were offered. Corrupt elders were stripped of titles. Sacred lands were returned. The dead were properly buried. On the final night, drums were beaten softly, begging the ancestors for mercy. The masquerades never appeared again, but the warning remained. Till today, elders tell their children, respect tradition, fear the ancestors. Because when masquerades walk without drums, they are no longer messengers. They are executioners. Don't forget to like, comment, share, follow, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this.